Hey guys, you are looking at the project of the day. This is called the Daffodil. Supposed to be a bouquet, but I only did one because the bouquet, of course, is going to consist of more than one daffodil. I will also be doing these for my crafting room, as those of you that follow me on my Stitchinstacy's crochet page, you know that we'll be having a crafting room soon once I get to my new location in Iowa. So these will be going in there as a decoration. So this is an example of what we're going to do today. It's a free pattern using Sugar and Cream Yarn by Lily, and the pattern is on yarnspirations.com. So what I need you to do is to pull up that pattern so you can work it with me, and it's called the Daffodil Bouquet, I believe, and you can look it up under the Lily Sugar and Cream Yarns. It does not have a pattern number on these website, but you just type in what the pattern itself is called and it usually pulls it right up. So let's get started, and I will be right back, and we will start out with the items that you will need for this project. Okay guys, I am back. I am going to go over a couple things with you for our daffodil project that we need. Alright, first of all, you're going to need to use a 4mm. I'm going to use a 4.25mm. You will need any color of sugar and cream yarn that you want to work with. Since I have already completed one with the yellow, I want my bouquet to be a couple different colors. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, but you will need a white for your center, and then you'll need a green of some sort for your petal and your stem. Now I will probably use a little bit of basic yarn for my stem part because I have ran out of green in the sugar and cream, so I will probably have to change that out a bit. And then I have my big spool of white here. Okay, you will need a glue gun and a couple different pair of snippers, and those you're going to have to use for your floral wire that we have here, and that of course is going to be used right here where you're going to insert that into your single crochet chain, where you're going to give your stem a little bit of flexibility, and I will show you that later. So again, you can get this at Walmart, you can get it at any of your crafting stores, floral stores. This is a 20 gauge wire. It came in 30 pieces and it is 18 inches long. So again, depending on how long you want your stems, you can use this, you could cut this into 2 pieces, which is what I did, or if you want them a little bit shorter, you can also use it for 3 different pieces. And then what I'm going to do is I bought a piece of what they call dry foam, and you can get yourself a little flower pot, which is what I will be ultimately doing for this overall project in my crafting room. Once I get to Iowa, there's already a room there. I'm going to be fixing it up as soon as I get there. And you will set this down in the flower pot. So let's pretend this is the flower pot. You will set this down in the flower pot, and then you will take your flowers and you will stick them down inside the dry foam, and this will hold them into place just like if it were a regular flower pot with potting soil and flowers. So it looks natural, only it will be crocheted flowers. So it's a really creative idea, and you can do several different flowers based on the season. You can do your colors for spring, you can do fall colors, you can do Christmas colors. That way you can just change them out based on the season. So again, you can get this pretty much anywhere, and you can get it in different gauges, you can get it in different sizes. And again, you see there's plenty here. I can probably make 3 seasons worth out of this. And I have my Mr. Owl tape measure. You will need that. And then you will need your glue gun, and of course mine I've already used this morning on this flower, so it's kind of glued to my paper towel. Okay, so that is your, and of course you'll need your scissors. I believe that I got everything here that you will need. I put mine in a vase with a bunch of buttons, and so pretty much we're going to be doing the flower itself, and then we'll do the leaf separately, and then we'll do the stem separately. So you'll be doing 3 different parts to this tutorial. Basically the flower is a little bit flimsy because the length of the stem is really long, but I wanted mine that way. My vase is going to be a lot taller, and the way that I'm going to be arranging my bouquet is going to be different. So don't let that catch you off guard, but you can do it any way you want to do it. So it's up to you, and your petals can be any color you want. It's just, you know, it's a very creative idea. And also on this pattern, if you go to this particular pattern, be careful. There are a couple different versions of this same daffodil pattern. The difference in these patterns will be the leaf. When I break to do video 2 or 3, however many tutorials breaks that I do on this tutorial, I will get the example of the other leaf that is on one of the exact same tutorials. But the only difference in this pattern that I'm doing versus the other pattern that is on the same flower is the leaf. I didn't care much for the other one because the leaf was really odd and it was really big and it was a different way of putting it together. I like this one a lot better, but I will show you the other leaf and let you judge for yourself. But there's either 2 or 3, maybe even more. I got as far as 2 different patterns for this exact same daffodil head. Okay, and then the stem and the leaf itself is worked differently based on pattern to pattern. But this one was by far my favorite. Okay, so I'm going to go and get that leaf. I'm going to grab which yarn that I'm going to start out with, and I want you to go grab all of these necessities, and then I will be right back with you and we will start this beautiful spring project. Alright guys, I'm back with you. As I promised, this is the leaf from the other pattern. Okay, so you can tell the difference, and I'm going to take my flower now out of my buttons and out of my vase. This is one flower, and then this is the other flower. So there is a big difference in pattern. So be careful which one that you choose. The difference in the pattern is the other pattern has this leaf that's going to be wrapping itself around like this, and you're going to have to be making sure that it's glued or somehow attached. And I just wasn't very keen on that particular pattern. And don't expect your wire to be straight. Okay, it kind of gives it a little bit of character. And same thing for your petals. They're going to have, you know, when you see flowers out in the wild and out in your yard and in the woods, they're not perfectly straight. They're rigid. That's just the way they grow in the wild, and you don't want to give off a fakeness to your projects. So don't be alarmed when they look that way, okay? So I'm going to set that back there. What I've decided to do is I'm going to use my red. Okay. So now I'm going to pull myself some out of here. So what we're going to do is start off like we do any other project. You're going to start off with the slip knot and grab your hook. Okay, now our instructions, the first thing that you want to do is you're going to make a chain 6. Okay? I'm sorry, not a chain 6. You make 6. Okay, let's try that one more time, guys. Let's do a chain 2 here. Okay? Now, first thing you want to do is to do 6 single crochet in the second from the hook, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You want to pull that shut a little bit. Now what you're going to do is join with a slip stitch in the back loop only. Okay, you're going to join with just a slip stitch. You got your 2 loops here. You're only going to join in the back loop with a slip stitch. Okay, so that's your first round. Now for the first petal, what you're going to do is you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to do 2 single crochet in the back loop of the same space. So you're going to do 2 single crochet. So 1 and 2. Okay, now you want to do a chain 1 here and turn. Now if you want to get rid of that tail, by all means, if you worked over it, snip that off and get that out of your way now. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to do 2 single crochet in each single crochet. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go into this first stitch and do 2. So 1, 2, and then the next one gets 2. So 1 and 2. Okay, so now what you need to do is you're going to chain 1 and turn. Now for rows 3, 4, and 5, you're going to do 1 single crochet in each to the end of the row. So you should have 4 single crochet in a row. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and now you're going to chain 1 and turn. So now this will be row 4. So do your 4 single crochet, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so that was row 4. Now let's do row 5. So chain up 1 and turn. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull my yarn out some. Whoops. Alright, so now we've got that part. Now what you want to do is you're going to chain 1 and turn. Now row 6, you're going to draw up a loop in the next 2. So what you're going to do is decrease by 2. So you're going to insert your crochet hook in the first stitch, grab your hoop and pull up. Go in the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull up. Then you want to yarn over and you want to pull through all 3 of those hoops. You'll do that again in the next 2. So you'll insert your hook in the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull through. And then you'll insert in the next stitch and do the same process. You'll have 3 hoops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Now you want to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to turn. Okay, so now it's time to finish this off. So what you're going to do is you're going to skip the first stitch and you're going to slip stitch in that last. Okay, so you're going to slip stitch right there. Now you're going to work down the side of the petal. So you're going to have to evenly space them or work according to these rows right here. Okay, because you did do 5 rows. So now what you're going to do is you're going to single crochet in 5 spaces along the side. You can look and count your 5 rows and put 1 in each of the 5 spaces, or you can just evenly space these out, but you need 5. Okay, so I put 1 here, so I'm going to go right here. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one 5. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to go back into this big gap you started in and do a slip stitch and pull that together. Now your next stitch here, you're going to go right into that back loop only and do a slip stitch. Okay, so you completed your very first petal. So now what you're going to do is you're going to do this whole process over. So you'll do a chain 1, and then you're going to go right back into that stitch and do 2 chains. So 1, 2. Now you're going to chain 1. Don't make your stitches too tight. And let's turn. Now in that first stitch, you'll put 2 single crochet. In that second stitch, 2 single crochet. Okay? Now the next row, you want to chain 1 and turn. Now this is where you're just going to do 3, 4, and 5, which is rows 3, 4, and 5, and you're just going to put 1 in each of the 4 stitches. So first, you're going to do a single crochet in the first one, single crochet in the second one, single crochet in the third one, and single crochet in the fourth one. Simple. Okay, chain 1. The next row is row 4, and you're just going to repeat that. So you'll have 4 single crochet here. Okay, chain 1 and turn, and this is your 5th row, so you'll do that one more time. Nothing hard about a single crochet. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to chain 1, and now here's where we're going to start decreasing. Go into that first stitch, pull up a loop, go into the second stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3, and repeat that in the last 2 stitches. Pull up a loop, go in the last stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now you're going to chain 3 and turn. Okay, you're going to slip stitch in that next stitch, or that last stitch I should say. Okay, and now your petal is what it is now, and then you're going to do 5 single crochet down the side. So 1, 2, 3, ooh, too tight. I don't like tight. Let's see, that's 3, 4, and then my last one is 5. Now you want to go right into that beginning space and slip stitch. Okay, that's your second petal, and then you want to go to that next stitch on your beginning row and slip stitch into the back chain, or back loop, I'm sorry. Alright, and then you're just going to go all the way around, and you're going to do that until we have 7 petals. Okay, so again, you'll have 7 petals once you have completed that. And then once you get to your 7th petal and you have it completed, just wait for me there, and I'll come back and show you how to join. So if you need to go back and rewind the video to show you how to keep going around to do the petals, you can do that. And I'm going to finish my 5 petals, and I'll meet you back up, and I'll teach you how to join here at the beginning or at the end, however you want to look at that. So do your last 5 petals. I'll meet you up at the end of this round. I'm back. I have all of my petals done. Now all I have to do at this point is I'm going to go right into the bottom here of this petal. I'm going to slip stitch there, and then I'm going to go into the bottom of the beginning petal that we started with, and it doesn't say to do that, but I feel better about doing it. And then I'm going to slip stitch in there, and I'm going to finish this petal off. So again, you just want to make a tight knot there, and your petals are going to be a little floppy, so don't let that scare you off. They are supposed to be that way. So once you get that going, you can go ahead and weave in your end. Get that out of the way of this beautiful flower that we're making. Okay, and once you get that woven in as good as you want it, just go ahead and clip that off. Okay, so there we have the flower. Okay, so now what you're going to be making is going to be what's called the trumpet, which is your center part. So let's get rid of the red, and what you're going to do is change over to the white. If that's the color center that you want, it's up to you. You're going to make a slip knot on your hook, and what you're going to do is you're going to join to any of those front loops, okay? So that's why we didn't use those front loops. So if you look at your circle, you see these little front loops right here? That's what you're going to be joining to. Okay? So it's easier to take your flower and kind of fold it. Find yourself one that you want to start with. So you're going to find it and go right into it. And you're going to do a slip knot. Sorry, slip stitch. I just love those two words. Alright, and then you're going to chain one here, and then you're going to do, let me see my pattern. Alright, you're going to do 2 single crochet here. So we're going to build that up. So 1, you want to tighten those down a bit, and 2. It's a little difficult, little odd way to have to work, but keep those petals down and out of your way. Okay? So then what you want to do next is you're going to do 2 single crochet in each one of these loops, okay? So you're just going to go around and put 2 single crochet in each one of these. And like I said, it is a bit odd to do, so if you can keep your petals pushed down, you will be in a much better standing way here. You want to pull these down and keep those a little tight. Okay. So again, you're just going to find that front loop. Some of them are a little hard to find. You just have to work it best you can. Because all you're trying to do here is just make a little circle. And you may have to pull it out to find it. There it is. Sometimes working with sugar and cream yarn gets a little tighter than I like to have to work it. I have an itchy nose today. Okay. This should be my last one. Now what you want to do is you want to join back up here, pull through and do a slip stitch. Okay? And then for the second row, and if you want to build that up, now this one here I did not do a second row. I thought it was nice like it was with just the one row. But it does say for the second round you will chain a 1, and you will do a 1 in the same space, and you will just go all the way around and do a single crochet row. So you will go right back into this one, and you'll just simply go all the way around again. You can work over that tail. Having a hard time with this yarn today. So, you know, if you're wanting the trumpet part to be thicker, And you'll just go one more round around here. Keep those petals down. Act like a bunch of little octopus arms. I can hear some of you laughing at that one. Okay. So when you get back around, again, you just want to slip stitch. Okay? And then you'll just fasten that off and pull it through. Lord have mercy, me and this yarn today. And then you'll weave them in. Again, like I said, that would be up to you if you want it to stand up that tall. If you don't, do one like I did. It's totally up to you. Okay, clip those ends, and there you have the trumpet part.